Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing this look. It's Coachella inspired. I have never been to Coachella, or I am not going to Coachella or any festival, but I wanted to try this out for, everybody else's inspiration, and also because I wanted to do something fun. So if you're interested, keep on watching. One more thing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and check out my social medias that are linked down below. I will see you guys in my next video. So we're gonna get right into it. I'm going to start with my face first. So I already washed my face and I'm moisturized, but I'm also going to add this Jergens Natural Glow face moisturizer because it has sunscreen. Since you're going to be at Coachella, you want to have as much, sun protection on your skin since you'll be out in the sun all day. So I will use this one first, and just a little bit. I think I grabbed a little too much, but it's fine. We'll use it down our neck also. You want to make sure that your skin is always protected from the sun. Okay, so now I'm going to let that set really quick, and then I will move on to my primer, and I'm gonna use the Becca Backlight priming filter. This one has a really nice glow to it, and I want to have a really good glow for, Coachella. Okay, let me let that set in really quick. And then also I'll just show you guys what I'm using for foundation. I'm using the Infallible Pro Matte today. I want to stay matte all day and not look sweaty. So this is my favorite one. And if you're looking more for like a higher end foundation, you can also do the Kat Von D Lock-It foundation. That one's really good. It's similar to the Infallible, but this is more for drugstore. Okay, so let's move on to my primer, and I will do like a pump and a half. Okay, so now we will start with our eyes while we let our face get the whole moisturizer and primer. Now for our eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do my eyebrows off camera. It's my everyday, eyebrow routine, so you can go and check that out. Okay, so now that I have my eyebrows done and ready to go, I primed my eyes and I set them with setting powder. Now I'm going to use the Morphe 35B palette and the Smashbox Cover Shot in matte. So I'm going to start off with the Smashbox Cover Shot. Sorry. Okay, and I'm going to take a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use, let me see, this lighter shade, and then this lighter shade, and then I'm going to move on to the purple shade. So I'm using this new shade to use for my transition color, so it can be easier to blend every other color that I use, especially the dark colors and the very bright colors. Okay, so now moving on to this purpley shade, and I'm going to use, I'm going to use the Morphe M33, not M33, M433. I'm going to go back with that fluffy brush and blend out that purple. It's a little bit darker than I wanted it to. This is my first time using this palette, So I didn't know it was going to be this dark. But if I blend it out really good, it won't look so dark. I have a few harsh lines right here that I'm trying to blend out. Just to define my brow bone a little bit. Okay, and then I will go back with my Y19 brush to blend that out. Okay, now moving on, I'm going to use my Morphe 35B palette to use the purple shades in there. I will be using most likely these three right here. So starting of course with the lightest shade and using, just using the same brush. If you're building up colors going from light to dark, you can always use the same brush. It's the easiest thing to do, and since it's from light to dark, you don't have to worry about messing it up. Okay, so taking the lightest shade, and I'm going to start placing it in the middle of my eye and starting to blend it upwards. Fine. And this is just going to cover any space that I didn't add those two other shades. Because if you can tell, it's not as dark as the other two shades that I used, so I'm just applying this one to pretty much, you know, cover all those blank spaces. And I just blend it upward. Okay, so I'm going back again with that fluffy brush. Okay, so now we are moving on to the second darkest color, or the middle shade. And starting to darken it up and make it a little bit more brighter. And I actually think I'm not going to add that darkest shade. It's because I don't want to make it too dark. I'm going to go back with that fluffy brush to blend this out. Okay, so I'm liking how this is looking, and I think I will stay like this. I won't go any darker. You do want to make sure everything is blended. I can't say that enough. Okay, so now I'm just going back, grabbing that same purple shade just to brighten it up a little more. And just packing it on. Okay, so moving on to our glitter. I'm going to first curl my eyelashes, just because I find it easier to do before I apply the glitter than doing it after. Okay, so before I apply my glitter, I'm going to highlight my inner corner. I will use both of these palettes or glow kits, and I'm going to mix crushed pearl and Forever Lit and add that to my inner corner. So I'm going to take that same brush I used to clean up my brow bone. Okay, crushed pearl and Forever Lit. And I'm just going to keep packing that in because I want it to be really highlighted. I'm going to use this purple shade using a flat brush. And I'm just going to start in the middle my eyelid and going outwards. I don't want to take it all over my lid. Kind of just placing it in the center and starting to blend it out more. Okay, so that's good. Move on to the other eye. Okay, so I think that's good. If anything, I'll go back and add a little more. Pretty good. I don't want to fill it up with glitter or anything like that. So I'm going to move on. I'm not adding any eyeliner. I might just, you know, like add a line right next to my waterline so I can apply my eyelashes. And very, very thin. Okay, so that's as thin as I could get it. And it doesn't matter if it's not perfect because my eyelashes will cover it. And for eyelashes, I'm going to use the Violet Voss lashes in the style Wispy My Name. So now that I have my eyelashes on, I'm going to finish off my eyes. And I'm using the Morphe M411. Starting to darken it up a little. And I'm going back with that Morphe M433 to blend it out just a little more. Perfect. Now we are moving on to our foundation. I already did my primer, as you guys saw. So taking my Infallible foundation and placing it on a little makeup plate. And then I usually take a little brush, concealer brush, and put it or brush it on my face. Like so. Just to get an even layer on my face and it doesn't look cakey. So since for this look, you're going to be out in the sun all day and you're going to get, you know, a little bit sweaty and all that. So I'm going to do another thin layer of makeup of my foundation just so I can have a little bit more coverage. Very lightly, I don't want to, you know, cake it on. Okay, so moving on to concealer, I'm going to use my Wet n Wild concealer. Okay, so I went ahead and applied my concealer. I'm using a wet beauty blender. Okay, and when I'm done blending out my concealer, I will use my Airspun to set that. And I pretty much set my whole face with it so I don't get oily throughout the day and my makeup doesn't, you know, wear off. Okay, so now my Airspun and using my beauty blender, for contour, I'm using Shade and Light. This is my favorite at the moment. I mean, I've had this, but it's my favorite at the moment. So I'm going to use this shade, which is the cool tone, and that's going to carve out my cheeks. Okay, so now that I'm done pretty much, you know, carving out my cheeks, I'm going to take a fluffier brush and I'm going to bronze up my face. I would usually use my Hoola bronzer, but I'm kind of running out of it, so this one will have to do. And I'm not taking it all the way to my cheekbones because I'm going to add some blush, and I will add that after this. Okay, so I feel like that's good. Now I'm going to add some blush, but first let me, if you guys can tell, there's a line right here from my concealer, so I'm taking my brush again and blending out my bottom shadow. Okay, so now adding my blush, I'm gonna use the BH Cosmetics blush palette. Tap off the X's, and I start at the apples of my cheeks in circular motions, and then I run it up, or blend it up, I'm sorry. Okay. One more thing, sorry for the bad quality of the last few clips. I had some technical difficulties. It's a one-man show here, so it's kind of hard to do camera and video, you know. Okay, so now I'm going to dust off the airspun and also blend out everything. Adding some chapstick. And now we are going to add our lipstick. Going to, okay, start doing some lines. I know I want to do 2 right here, so let's see how this works out. And I'm using, I'm sorry, I didn't mention it. I'm using the NYX White Liquid Liner. Okay, so that's good. I'm going to do some down my and then with the jumbo eye pencil, let's see, I'm going to start doing some dots over my eyebrows. I want to do some smaller ones right here. I'm going to add some of that same purple glitter that I used. I'm going to add it right over my highlights. And taking that same flat brush. Let me get a closer look. I don't want too much, so I'm just doing a little bit. Okay, so I think that's good. I don't want to add too much, like I said. They kind of look like freckles now that I'm looking at it, but it looks cute. Okay, Now let me see, do I want to add something else? I did see some girls, like I was looking at pictures for inspiration on how I wanted to do this look, and they had like a triangle here, or let me see. They had like a little like drop. And I think that is it for the look. I'm going to be right back. I'm going to finish up my, you know, like my clothing and add some accessories so you guys can see, and also my hair. Okay, so now I'm back. I went ahead and did my hair and clothes off camera, and I did, since it's a music festival, you have to have space buns, right? Okay, so I did the space buns, and it's super easy. It's like doing a bun, just doing two. And let's see what else. I added a off-the-shoulder top, and then a kind of boho looking necklace, and also this cuff and a ring. That completes my look for this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in my next video.